Welcome back, guys. What is up? Yes, we're here. We're here with a pretty busy thumbnail, as you saw. And the reason this is all happening is I've decided to put together a video talking a bit about my experience with Hub Motors and what I think are the best Hub Motors and what's the best electric skateboard at the moment coming out of China. Now, for those of you who know my channel, I was one of the first guys in the world on YouTube to actually do the Chinese market 4 years ago. I got absolutely pounded by people saying, you know, what are you doing reviewing electric skateboards from China? They're toys. Get yourself an Evolve, get yourself a Boosted. What are you wasting your time for? And I spent most of my first 6 months on YouTube trying to get to my 100 subscriber level, but also trying to defend myself against what I thought was going to be one of the best markets coming out of the world because of the technology behind China and what they were doing. Fast forward 4 years, nearly every YouTuber on YouTube is doing electric skateboards out of China. They're reviewing them. So I was kind of ahead of the game, and I knew I was. My background is electrical fitter mechanic. I'm an engineer. I worked for 12 years on submarines and ships for the Australian RAN, contracted by an English company to work on the wireless transmission room, engines, motors, rebuilding, fitter turning, making foreign orders for motors, stripping motors, building motors, coiling motors, armature reconstruction. So motors have been around in my life, and I understand how they worked for many, many years. And really an outrunner motor, brushless, is a great new invention coming from the drone industry. But technically they're just toys. They're not a really high quality, efficient, diesel motor, any kind of industrial motor. This is just primarily an electric motor. So there are apples and oranges. I mean, we need to talk a bit about what's out there and what they do. They're very easy to copy and very easy to make look good. And as you can see here, I've got a whole lot of boards I've reviewed. These are some of my boards, some of my Hub Motors. We've got the Team G, we've got the Cool Wheel, we've got the Onans, we've got the Meepo, we've got the Vireals. There's a lot more too, but I just put these out today to have a chat to you what I think's going on in the marketplace and what's going to happen. Now, companies always spec their motors in a range, like Evolve, for instance, spec them from 900 watts to 1500 watts. And what do? They spec them on their website as 1500 watt motors. Now, a lot of these motors will say 250 watt, 350 watt. I get a lot of questions about what is the wattage. Well, you need to look at the range and what the controller will build it to. So in the case of Cool Wheels, these are 350 watt motors, spec to 350 watt, range of 250 watt. The Meepos are 250 watt to 400 watt. They may be spec to 400 or 350 watt, normally 350 watt. The Team Gs are 350 watt, full spec. The Onans were 2200 watts. So they're obviously spec to that 2200 watts motors. The Vireals, for instance, are spec between 250 and 400 watts. So they are a 400 watt motor, but they also are very finely tuned. These motors are extremely well made. So they actually are a hand wound, thick coil. And a bit of background about Vireal, for instance, the company was formed by a guy who was a motor builder in China. He was an older guy, not the same college class graduates as Kieran and Jason and Vic. He was an older guy who'd been around doing motors for a long time, and he actually was pretty much an expert on motors. So that's why the Vireal motors, in my opinion, are one of the best Hub motors coming out of China, period. Now, I've ridden all these boards. I understand how they work. There's a couple of functionalities you got to understand about Hub motors that are really important to understand if you're going to buy one, and that is the maintenance, the ongoing work. They're a lot less work than a belt drive, but there is definitely a little bit of maintenance on them, a little bit of work on them. So let's talk about what I recommend as one of the best boards coming out of China at the moment. And there's a guy in Adelaide, a fellow Aussie, Samuel James, who's a very critical reviewer and got a very intellect website, blog page on reviewing skateboards. He gets into a lot of detail. He's actually given the Vireal F1, this one here, the #1 skateboard coming out of China in terms of affordable value, great, the best, S controller, which is the Hobbywing. We'll go on to that, but have a look at that. I'll put a link below to Samuel's website. But look, the point is that I'm not alone in saying that the Vireals are probably one of the best electric skateboards coming out of China, period. And why? Well, let's go into some details. Okay, first of all, a hub motor traditionally has a stator and has the rotor. And the rotor is what the urethanes are on. Most of the companies, including the original Cool Wheels, the Onans, had a slip-on. Well, initially they had no urethane. You just had to buy a new motor. And Meepo, up till a while ago, still had that problem. The one I've got here, the Meepo Mini, great board, very, very jerky, very bitey. You're hanging on for dear life most of the time, like a bird on a wire. But it has replaceable motors only when the urethane wears out. The Cool Wheels had the replaceable sleeve that goes on. The Onans had the sleeve. The sleeve can move. There's a few issues with that. So although they're really good and they work well, the Onans particularly work well, and I've recommend the Cool Wheel. This D3M is still one of the best skateboards in Europe and biggest sellers. It's just a beast, and it keeps going and going like an old Volvo. Team G's don't. They have a replaceable urethane on the outside as well. Look, at the end of the day, that's all very well, but what happens? The magnets wear out after a while. They get demagnetized. Okay, the higher the temperature, the greater demagnetize. So what happens eventually is the magnets do actually wear out. And what happens with that? You lose power, you lose drive, you lose torque. So let's talk about the Vril. Now, I'm saying today that if you're going to enter the market, you're a learner, you're getting into the market, the Vril F1 is one of the best electric skateboards because it is a very slow takeoff on its Hobbywing-esque, and also it has a really nice braking, ultra smooth, and you can't die on this. My 12-year-old nephew rides this. I give it to him. I wouldn't trust him with anything else here or anything else in the marketplace. That goes for big boards coming out of China at the moment as well. Mainboard, windboard, the whole lot. Look, the reason I'm not, this is an independent chat with you guys. I'm not here, I don't make any money on Vril. I'm not part of the company, but it is one of the best boards, I believe, coming out of that China group at the moment, okay, especially the F1, not just the deck. The deck has a beautiful scalloped W concave. It's extremely low to the ground. Has the one battery compartment on the bottom and ESC all in one. It's just a beautiful machine. It's like driving a luxurious Volvo limousine. It's just beautiful. That's the first thing. I'm going to recommend this kind of Vril F1 as out of the best coming out. They're all close, but this is by far above that next batch. Number one, why I'm recommending these particular boards is because, number one, we talked about the magnets, and the magnets come in a set of urethane replacements. So this is a first for the industry. No one else is offering a magnet rotor with the urethane embossed on with anabolic compound, vulcanized, stretched, heated. It does not move. This is a solid piece of engineering. So the magnets are slightly curved, they're beautiful anabolic compound, the bearing structure and the way the bearings fit. When you pull this off and you have a look at the stator is layered with beautiful laminations of independent sizes. From an electrical point of view, the EMF conduction that you're getting through this system is far superior than what's out there with these other motors. There's no doubt about that. There's no argument from my point of view as an electrical field mechanic. Beautiful. When you put this on, you're getting a 60% new motor because you're getting the brand new magnets. You're getting the brand new, it's all in-house, it's all one unit, it does not fault. Okay. Other sleeves, non-replaceable, actually have to buy new motors like the Meepo, for instance, is just crazy. I mean, this is just the way to go. This is groundbreaking technology from Vril, so it is amazing. Number two, the spec of the motors are 400 watts, but they're clocked to about a 500 watt motor. So you're looking at 1,000 watts of power. These have got some bite. They really are a beautiful board. Obviously you can see now there's the Vril V1 here, and the V1S is upstairs. I didn't bring that down. They've got the F1. So they all have the same ability to be able to change your urethanes and the magnets. That's the first thing, number one. Number two, the actual torque of the motors are actually quite torque. The KV has been adjusted, so it's got a lovely linear curve. It's got a beautiful takeoff on the V1 and the V1S. It's got a lot of bite, but it has got a more aggressive braking. And then of course the F1's got this incredible smooth braking on the Hobby Wing, which is the third point. The Hobby Wing ESC is one of the best on the market, period. There's no question about that. It's just a luxury ride on this thing. So in summing up, guys, I don't want to drag on too much, but fire some questions down below. I'm happy to have a chat to you guys. There'll be some disagreements, I know, but look, I've ridden all these. I've ridden them for years, and I can tell you now, without a doubt, that the Vireal is the best entry level for a beginner, learner, but then you move on to the intermediate, and on high speed, these things are advanced pro level. I mean, I've been riding for 47 years, and these still give me a rush. They are just an amazing, they're quick as a boosted board over a certain period. Top speed 38 kilometers an hour, 38 kilometers an hour, 39 on the V1S, which is faster than a boosted. It's just a silent feel. When you ride an electric skateboard with a hub motor, you have got no sound. It's your really modern kind of floating through the air electric skateboard. It feels like a hoverboard from the future. Yeah, I miss the wind of a belt and the screaming sound of a belt, but this is just another level of just, you know, silent stealth kind of riding, and it gives you a feeling of floating. It's quite euphoric what that feeling is on a hub. So if you haven't ridden a hub, especially a Vireal, which are ultra quiet, these are super quiet hubs. Yeah, get yourself into one of these. They really are amazing. So look, and then if you want to go into, you know, really advanced riding, these things will also satisfy that level as well. So it's all still my go-to grab skateboard in a hub market environment when I want to be quiet, stealthy, in town with police, whatever. Yeah, the Vireal is going to be one of those boards that, in my opinion, is head and shoulders above the market at the moment. Now, there are a lot of new players coming through now, a lot of new designs, but still this is standing head and shoulders above the rest with its replaceable urethane magnet setup. And of course the high torque of the 400 watt motors is really impressive. I've smashed these things over everything. I've actually tried to break my V1S. I've tried to hit it on train track, cobblestones, gutters. I can't kill these hub motors. I literally can't. They're like some massive big hydraulic drill. They are just another level from what else is out there, in my opinion. So I hope that's helped today. If you're looking at buying a Meepo, Waogo, Ownboard, Backfire, Cool Wheel, Onan, anything out there, obviously your Raptors, another level again. But really and truly, this is something that is very, very impressive in the industry and technology-wise. So big hats off to Vireal and Vic and the team. Like I said, this is an honest appraisal, giving new people into the market, people who want to get riders their first hub, or maybe someone who wants a hub motor for the first time after riding a belt. This is kind of, yeah, this is kind of some of my buttons there. Or you're you know, coming into the industry and want to learn how to ride a hub, or get a skateboard for the first time, or advanced user want a second backup board as a hub. Have a look at the Vireals. They're amazing technology, and I can thoroughly recommend these boards, as I can all of these, because I do recommend most of these on my channel. But they are it's just a chat today with you guys about what I recommend as probably the #1 hub system out there right now. So I'll do the same thing with the belt drives. I'll do that next week, that video, or week after, giving you my opinion the best belt drive skateboard coming out of China at the moment at that budget range. Again, this is the budget range, I'm not talking about the Raptors or the big hubs. Yeah, so we'll hope that helps. Obviously, just not everyone's got their hands on these kind of boards or can actually ride them. So if I can shortcut that decision for you guys and help you with some advice, I'm more than happy. So fire some questions down below. We'll talk later in the next video, coming up with another exciting new electric skateboard with an adjustable replaceable battery. That's coming next week. The Zill board's coming. My folding electric skateboard's coming, so hold off on buying maybe that board up one that's out there. Wait for what I've got to show you guys. Not long now, 3 weeks away. Till next time, guys, thanks for joining me on Andrew Penman eBoard reviews for what I think is the best hub drive system at the moment coming out of China. Have a great weekend and a great day. Safe skating, happy skating. See you in the next vlog. Andrew Penman signing off. So what is the future for hub motors? My prediction? Well, let's say You will not see hub motors driving all-terrain wheels in the near future unless they have some bionic, nuclear hub motor. The drag and the size of the wheels is just too much. I think the future will be all-wheel drives, four-wheel drive hubs, along like the Onan here, just mainly for hill climbing. That's all you'll really need that for. You don't need four-wheel drive for anything more than that. I think you'll see companies adopt the real way of the one-stop shop rotor recovery, I call it, where you basically recover 60% of your motor by putting this on, and you get pretty much a new motor, and they're cheap at whatever $40 odd US or whatever for this particular unit. I think you'll also see probably more powerful hubs coming in. The Raptor I've reviewed, I've looked at, I think it has some good qualities, has some really bad qualities. It heats up too much, they overheat. I think we need to look at more of the cooling aspects. More waterproofing, they actually are pretty waterproof, a hub motor as it is. I'm a big fan of hubs, as you know, but I'm liking my belts, but that's what I think the future could be at the moment for hub motors. Okay guys, we're here with some of the local crew and we're going to interview them on what they think of electric skateboard riding. So, Dude S, what's your name?
Brooke.
Brooke, and how long have you been riding for?
1 day.
1 day. And I've seen her ride, she rides really well. She's been riding, what do you like about electric skateboard riding? It's electric. See, that's a woman for you. They just tell exactly how it is. No, that's brilliant. And do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's riding really well. So that's Brooke. How old are you, Brooke?
10.
10. She's 10. Right. Dude, how long have you been riding for?
1 day.
1 day. And what's your name?
Nate.
Nate, how old are you?
7.
7. He's been riding 1 day. What do you like about skateboard riding, electric skateboard riding?
Because it's electric and you can use my hotel. You don't need to use your feet.
Wow, you don't need to use your feet. That's so cool. That's one of the best aspects. And I must say, the kids, they don't want to be pushing their skateboards around. Dude, how long have you been riding for?
A month.
A month. And how old are you?
12.
What's your name?
Chad.
Okay, what do you like about electric skateboard riding?
You don't have to walk up and down on the hill and you get so much sweaty, so you just ride on the electric skateboards.
Wow. See, this is the thing. I think the new kids coming through are going to be just enjoying the not having to work so hard on these skateboards, and it's also it's a really good way of getting around, really, to the shops and stuff. Dude, how long have you been riding for?
A day.
A day. What's your name?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. How old are you?
9.
9. And you've been riding 1 day only, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And what do you like about electric skateboard riding?
They're electric. You don't have to walk up the hill, and you don't have to use your feet.
Wow. Okay, and obviously Chad has been riding for how long? A month. He's pretty good. So these guys are going to be riding now. These guys, the crew here at Smith Avenue, are going to be riding on the street. I'm going to check them out. It's their first attempt pretty much of riding, except for Chad's doing a bit more. And you'll see how easy it is to ride these boards. So we'll come back in a moment. Looks like it might start raining, so we'll go for a ride now. So we'll see you guys very soon. Oh. Is it cool? Do you like it? Pretty cool, eh? Here goes Nate. Look at that, killing it, Nate. First time on an electric skateboard. Wow, beautiful. That's it. Right, what do you think of that?
Awesome.
It's awesome? Okay, here goes Isaiah. It's starting to rain a bit now, but he's killing it. Look at that, nice work, my man. Whoa, first time on electric skateboard. This is the future, these guys. Here's Brooke, riding it on her own. She's killing it. First time ever on electric skateboard. You're killing it, doing so well. What do you think to that, Brooke? Do you enjoy that?
No.
You did so well, that's awesome. You hit the shape up again. Here comes Chad. This is Chad's pretty much second day on the skateboard. He's on the Vireo. Oh, beautiful. Wow, nice braking. What do you think of it?
Really good.
Really nice? Smooth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, Chad. Fantastic. Great riding.
Like and subscribe and follow the link.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. This is the future of electric skateboarding. Have some fun with us, and yeah, we'll catch you guys later.